Good morning, bright and early, just before 7 a.m. here in Las Vegas. Teddy covers with another WagerTalk opening line report / morning market movers. We still haven't settled on the true name for this quick hitter podcast, but thank you for taking time out of your busy day. Let's talk about what's happening right here in Las Vegas. First thing in the morning, where the money is flowing, and more importantly, why the money is flowing in the direction that it's flowing. What are we seeing? Let's talk in the NBA for tonight. Oklahoma City and Dallas, and we've seen a little bit of OKC money. Pretty much 5 across the board right now. The markets aren't convinced that Luka is healthy, and that's why we're seeing the Thunder money. I anticipated if the market thought Luka was at 100%, that we would expect some zigzag here. We'd see some Dallas money, but at the current number of 5, and again, there were 4s and 4.5 at the openers. We haven't seen that, and that tells us the markets are concerned about Luka's bad leg. Total in that game sitting at 218. We've seen a little bit of under money, which makes sense. Obviously, if you don't think Luka's 100% and you're playing OKC, not surprised that we're seeing a little bit of under money in early betting action this morning. The early game, Cleveland and Boston, much like game 1, we're not seeing a whole lot of market support for the Cavaliers. Celtics, I haven't seen a whole lot of anything for this game just yet in terms of sharp money, big moves, and that's 13.5 is where it's been. 212.5. The total's down a little bit from the opener, 213.5, but we're not seeing significant sharp money on Cavs, Celtics, at least not yet. And again, when you talk about 13.5 point favorites in the NBA, those don't tend to be the type of plays that attract a lot of syndicate betting attention. Nonetheless, Celtics have taken the early money, unders taken the early money, neither significant thus far. Taking a look at the 2 games for tomorrow, we got some opening numbers for the Knicks and the Pacers, and I do think this line has a potential to move. It's already on the move. The Pacers opened 6. Let's call it 6. There were 6.5s last night. I'm seeing 7s popping up already today. For early action, but given the Knicks injury report, which isn't pretty, they got a couple guys getting MRIs today, and given Indiana, who's played well at home this postseason, returning home, facing the 0-2 deficit, I'm not surprised that the Pacers, who were dogs in the first 2 games, are now favorites in game 3. But 6.5, and remember, they were like 6.5 for game 1 as dogs in New York. So we're talking about like a 13-point move from what we saw in game 1 versus what we're seeing in game 3. So, yeah, we like Indiana. I don't know if I'm going to get to the betting window with the Pacers at that price. The market's certainly not giving bargains for Indiana in that game 3, but it's a Pacers spot. So Indiana's on my short list for tomorrow, absolutely. But the numbers give me a little bit of pause. Total, again, this is a series where we, Knicks unders. And the first 2 games have flown over the total. This one opened 225.5. We're seeing under money come in. The Knicks have shot unbelievably well the first 2 games. I'm not surprised that we're seeing some under money. It's not as much about pace as it is about efficiency. The Knicks' offense efficiency has been off the charts in the first 2 games of this series. So, anyhow, first bet's coming for the under in game 3 for Knicks and Pacers, and obviously the money coming for Indiana in that return home. T-Wolves, Nuggets, it's been 4.5 pretty much for Minnesota as the favorite, looking to go up 3-0 on the defending champs. That said, the extra time off this week, I think it helps Denver. All the other teams this was the series that didn't play on Wednesday night, and they get the extra time off between games 2 and 3. So that extra time, in my mind, that helps. That can only help Denver, who's a little bit ailing, and we'll see how hungry they are to defend their title. Again, they're 4.5 point dogs. Total 204. We're not seeing 204.5. That line really hasn't moved a whole lot since it's open. We talk about series prices for a minute, and again, the T-Wolves still hold it at $6 in that range, and minus $6 against Denver, and Denver in the plus 450 range. What's interesting to me is Knicks Pacers. A team that goes up 2-0 in a series, pretty big favorite to win. Not in this series. It was, as high as minus $5 last night, and they're betting Indiana. The sharp money's come for Indiana. Minus $4 for the Knicks today. Plus 330 as the take back on the Pacers, despite the fact they're down 0-2. So The series price is telling us the markets think Indiana's still live in the series for what it's worth. OKC Dallas, OKC was readjusted to minus 250 after the game 1 win. And again, Luka's injury is certainly affecting these numbers. And the Celtics, what do you got to lay? 80 to win $1 to beat Cleveland. They'll beat Cleveland. Knock yourself out if you want to make that bet. There are guys I know that do that. We call them bridge jumpers because the one that loses costs you 50 that win. But again, the Celtics should win this series. Not a bet that I made. That being said. All right, guys. First of all, I want to thank all of you for getting in the comments. I really appreciate it. All the likes, all the follows. We got 150-something thousand followers for the WagerTalk YouTube channel, which blows me away. Nonetheless, if you're watching and you haven't followed yet, click that bell. You'll get an alert every time you get new content coming in live. So we appreciate that very much. And I'm doing my best. I think I've gotten in the comments every single day, at least once, to answer questions and reply. And I genuinely appreciate you guys taking time in your day to even say, hello, Ted, or thanks, or you're a jerk, or whatever you want to say. I appreciate that very much. And I got to let you guys know about, I talked about it a little bit yesterday. This is a really good deal if you want to get on board. It's, we call it a 7-11 special. It's a 7-day all-access pass. You pay for 7, you get for 11. So it's $9 a day, essentially. It's $99. So it's like less than $100 to get in the door. And check out what I'm going to do. Or you can use it for me. You can use it for any of the cappers at WagerTalk.com. But it gives you a good, I always say don't buy a play, buy a package. This is a reasonably priced package. Gets you the next 11 days. Or if you want to buy it tomorrow, I guess you can have the next, whatever. Gets you 11 days worth of all access. Every play, every day, all big plays included. Nothing more to buy, no bait and switch. And it gives you a taste of what we can do for you, what I can do for you if you want to partner up. So check out the page, wt.buzz/TC. Let's talk MLB. And again, this is a light card for MLB on Thursday, mostly getaway day games. In early betting action, we have seen some money for Cincinnati against Arizona. They really like Green. Green's one of these guys, when you're throwing 100-something miles an hour, the velocity is there. And this is not the first time this year or last that I've seen market support for the red starter. Nonetheless, under money in that game, total open 9 down to 8.5. And we are seeing some Cincinnati money looking at the WagerTalk free live odds screen. We have I believe a pitching change in St. Louis. Sonny Gray's going. And whenever Sonny Gray goes, he's another pitcher starting pitcher who attracts significant wise guy betting support. Cardinals now I'm seeing minus 125, minus 130 as road chalk in Milwaukee for this evening. We've seen a whole lot of Cleveland money against the White Sox. Nobody's betting the White Sox right now. And the books have a serious, I'm not going to say a serious problem because it's not that serious a problem. They dealt with it before. They have the same thing with the Rockies. The bottom feeders in MLB do not attract a whole lot of betting attention from anybody. So what happens? The prices get higher and higher and higher. And we're seeing money coming in on Cleveland. They opened a minus 140 range. Now I'm seeing minus 165, minus 175. Nothing but money for the Guardians against the dismal White Sox. One more worth noting, we are seeing a little bit of Kansas City money in early betting action against LA. I'm not sure how real that is, but it definitely there is some money for Waka over Detmers and the Royals. Now road chalk in LA for Thursday night. And again, light card in MLB today. That's the earliest of the early movers. And again, when I'm doing this show, it's just before 7 a.m. We're just about 7 a.m. So we get a glimpse of what the markets are going to do. We get some head fakes and sometimes send you in the wrong direction. But more often than not, the moves you see 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, well, that's the way the markets are going to trend throughout the course of the day. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy day to watch WagerTalk TV. Best of luck. Enjoy the games. Cheers.